Hey guys, at the end of this video, I've been given special permission to show you like 6, 7, 8 minutes of this masterclass, but I've got to first pitch you on watching the whole thing over on the New York City Drone Film Festival website. So bear with me and we'll get to it in a second. Coming at you with a very different kind of video today. So about 2 months back, I filmed a masterclass for the New York City Drone Film Festival. This is a festival that happens every year out in New York City, and because of the current state of the world, we weren't able to go to do it in person. And normally I would have loved to give a course like this in person, speaking in front of you guys and kind of telling people about my experiences in the FPV world, but instead we had to film them and then post them online for people to see. Now, all of those classes that we posted are still available on the New York City Drone Film Festival website, and they are now half off the original price that they were for the holidays, all that good stuff. So if you are interested in watching my masterclass, as well as like 20 others, including Gab707, Andy Shen, Chad Capper, Johnny FPV, Alex Vanover, I think, all sorts of different people have created these masterclasses and posted them to the New York City Drone Film Festival for you to watch. The ticket for the New York City Drone Film Festival was originally $120. It's since been dropped by half to only $60. Now I know that seems like a lot, but if you think about the fact that there's 20-25 hours of content from some of the top drone creators in the world, you have a chance to kind of go in and learn a lot about a bunch of different things. So I'm encouraging you that if this is something that you're interested in, something that you're interested in pursuing as a career, learning from guys like Johnny, Gab, Andy Shen, Chad Capper, and a bunch of other traditional aerial photography guys is going to be well worth the investment. So maybe ask for it for Christmas, I don't know. But I would love to have you guys be able to go check that out. And I got permission from the New York City Drone Film Festival to give you like the first like 6, 7, 8 minutes of my masterclass on how to make a living in FPV. And I'm not trying to say how to make money in FPV, but how do you make it sustainable? What are the kinds of things that I search for in order to keep this ship afloat in the strange world of professional FPV filmmaking and content and all this stuff. So without further ado, please check out the first like 6, 7, 8 minutes of my video. And if you want to watch the full thing, please consider going over, clicking the link in the description, and heading over to the New York City Drone Film Festival website to pick up the rest of my masterclass as well as a bunch of others. I hope that this is an okay ask from you guys. I'm really excited about the content that we put together. I'm really proud of my masterclass. Wish I could just post it to you guys, but we gotta work within the rules that we're given. So I hope you enjoy this and stay flying. All right, here goes nothing. My name is Paul Nurkla. I fly under the handle Nurk FPV, and I'm a professional FPV pilot. I'm putting this master class together on behalf of the New York City Drone Film Festival, and my goal is to kind of teach you guys a little bit about what I have learned operating in FPV at the highest level and for professional use. Whether that's using high performance FPV drones for filming, working on a commercial feature film, working in industrial areas, part of government projects, whatever that is, my goal is to kind of teach you all of the ways that I've learned to use FPV to make a living. FPV is my full-time job, and it is the only thing I do to make money, and that's a little bit scary, and my goal is to kind of show you guys how to kind of get from where you are to that point. Now, I'm not going to say that it's for everyone, and I think that there's probably a limited market for what's available for FPV, but I'm going to give you the best steps in the process to be able to get there yourself. But before we jump into all that, I should kind of tell you a little bit about who I am. I started flying drones back around Christmas of 2014. My in-laws gave me a little toy drone for Christmas that year, and that was my first introduction to drones. I had never done RC anything before because it was, RC is kind of this thing that you would think of as like a father-son activity, something that you would do together, but that was never something that was in the cards for my family. So when I got this toy for Christmas one year, I just started immediately playing with it, and I'm challenging myself, and I'm figuring out what can I do? Can I fly it through that? Can I land it on this? And I pretty much instantly broke it. When I broke it, I went online, I got a YouTube university education in fixing drones, and through that process also stumbled across drone racing. I remember very distinctly sitting at my desk at work pretending to work and saw this video of guys flying through a forest in France. It's the Juzz crash session video, and I saw that and I thought to myself, I have to do that. It was not something that I wanted to do or something that I thought looked fun. It was a very binary, like, this is the thing I am going to do now. And I didn't really have any aspirations of being professional about it. I remember watching the first 2015 DSA Drone Nationals for the United States, where Final Glide won that championship, and I kind of started to get into racing. I went to my first race. I was invited to Louisville to compete, and really enjoyed the competition aspect. I actually won my first race ever for my battery category. I was flying 3S, where the really fast guys were flying 4S, but I still won. That's all that really counts. Shortly after competing in my first race, I started to really double down on practicing for racing. And throughout that process, eventually got qualified for the United States Nationals by doing pretty well at a race out in, I think, North Carolina. Charlotte, is that North Carolina? Yeah. And then went to Governor's Island for the DSA Drone Nationals 2016. 1 year after sitting in my office watching 2015, I was competing with the best in the country. And I got second place. When I took second place at DSA Drone Nationals, I went to Drone Worlds and I competed in Oahu, Hawaii, and got second place again. And in that moment, realized, I'm onto something. There was a time where I was sitting in the car, kind of talking to a GoPro to try to stay awake, and I came across this idea that I may never be the best at programming, which was my career before FPV started, or before I got started in FPV, but I might just have a shot at being one of the best in drone racing. The day after I got second place in DSA Drone Worlds, I got a call from the Drone Racing League, and they asked me to compete in the Drone Racing League's nationally, or actually internationally broadcast television show then on ESPN, now it's on NBC, and that was kind of a moment where my wife and I decided, hey, maybe now is the time to actually go for this, to step into high performance FPV drones as a main career. I don't know if I didn't really ever plan on doing racing full time for my career, but having that as an option, as a place to start in professional drone racing was a huge help in my path to where I am now. I did my rookie year with the Drone Racing League and kind of started to build my filming background, trying to make YouTube videos, content creation. I have a YouTube channel with almost 100,000 subscribers, maybe 100 by the time you see this video. And in between the YouTube content creation, the filming that I was doing, and competing in the Drone Racing League, I was living a full-time life doing FPV, and that was always the goal. Fast forward to 2018, I became the DRL Allianz World Champion of drone racing, and since then I've continued to build a career in racing, in content creation, and in working on these commercial projects. So my goal is to kind of break down each of those segments, and then how to kind of get work with FPV and figure out how you can kind of step into the world of professional FPV, whether on a full-time or a part-time basis. And I think that's what qualifies me. So fast forward to 2020, that's where we're at right now. We're at the New York City Drone Film Festival. This is a kind of a course. I wish I could be giving this to you guys in person at the festival, but you're gonna have to settle for this. So what I'm gonna first do is break down to you how I make my living in high performance drones. Now, I don't say just FPV, because FPV, I think, limits your thoughts on what FPV could be or what high performance drones could be. So let's talk about, FPV, obviously first person view. High performance drones is just a way to categorize drones that aren't just like your standard DJI or Inspire. It's a drone that's used in a very different way, and that's going to incorporate your Cinewhoops, your counter UAS sort of stuff, your Blackmagic Pocket Cinema carrying rigs, all sorts of things like that. And so you can kind of just apply the high performance drones thing to what you're already doing, and that, I think that helps kind of clarify like what it is that these things do. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So my income as a full-time professional FPV person is pretty much split up three. I guess maybe I could add a fourth way. First of all is filming, right? I'm working on feature films. I'm traveling around to film commercials, content, social media stuff for different companies, whether it's marketing agencies up to films to whatever that is. And I travel and I try to go and find as many gigs as I possibly can. Next to that, I also do content creation. Lots of people want to know more about FPV, and I film YouTube videos and I make affiliate marketing money. I have Google AdSense, those sorts of things. And then in addition to that, I have my career in drone racing. I know that drone racing is probably not going to be an option for everybody, but that's a big part of what defines me. And each of these three things really impacts the other, right? The more I race, the more I'm better at handling nerves in a given situation. So when I get onto a film set and I'm asked to fly an expensive drone around expensive talent, for example, I'm not going to panic, right? Because I have flown at the most extreme edge of what a drone can do. And the more I do content creation, the more ideas I have for filming products and for taking the drone and doing different kinds of shots. And these things all kind of inform each other. So I like to push on all of them, even though it doesn't seem like they're always going to be helping each other, but they all come together. Finally, I also work a lot in government contracts. So whether that's doing counter UAS sort of stuff, being a red team member, using a drone to kind of defeat systems, we'll say, and kind of prove how capabilities could happen and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, just alongside of all of the other things that we're doing. So my income, I guess, is kind of split four ways. It's filmmaking, drone contracts, content creation, and racing. So now that we've talked about all of those different things, I want to kind of start narrowing in on filmmaking, right? This is a film festival, so it'd be kind of silly if I'm talking about counter drone projects and drone racing. Even though those are applicable, we're going to keep the focus on how to kind of make money, how to do work with professional FPV and professional high performance drones.